Live. It's a second live.
Today we're making something super special with my sous chef, the Celestial Blueberry, which will now make his departure away from my stuff because he's got hair all over him. Look, he's cleaner than I am, but I'm still gonna wash my hands. Come, we shall overcome. Look at these. First growth Japanese shiso from my garden. No other motherfucker in this whole country has them. If you're my friend, you can call me up and I'll just put a couple outside the door. If you're not, you can go get some fucking cabbage or whatever and make it out of that. Not my problem. But anyway, this is the thing that I'm most proud of out of my entire time living in Israel. Because all these fancy agronomes and all this and that said, you can't grow them, they won't grow here, it's impossible. And it took me 5 years. But I grew them, and they come back every fucking year. So, I'm gonna make something very traditionally Japanese today. So, in that case, we need some sake. This is marlin. It's probably one of the best. It's probably one of the best sakes I've tried this year. It's absolutely perfect. So first we'll just have a little sip of that and then I'll show you how to go on with this. Sarcasm and all that stuff aside, you can use Chinese cabbage or mangold with this, but you won't get the pure shiso effect. And I'm also not kidding that if you want to get that effect, you can ask me and I'll give you a couple of leaves. Okay, first, I'm gonna put this like so you guys can see it because it's really one of the best around right now. Here, I'll put it here and my cameraman can zoom in on that from time to time. The only thing in this, because in the best Japanese food, you need to use the highest quality ingredients and the fewest mixed together, okay? So what I'm gonna do is make ponzu. This is the best best yuzu you can get in Israel at the moment. Don't get any other brand than this. You can get it at Dragon. The other stuff is full of preservatives and nonsense and whatever, but every time you go there, you should remind those idiots to put it in the fridge because otherwise it will have a half-life. If it goes in the fridge, you can pretty much keep it around for a long time. Stuff is really strong. I'm using about 1 cup top full, and I'm only making enough for me and alone today because I woke up in a kind of bad mood and I was kind of sick, so I didn't want to invite anyone over. And anyway, I'm like filled with coronavirus and all that, so it's best to be responsible. Soy sauce. It's about 2 times the amount of soy sauce to yuzu. And remember to never use any other kind of soy sauce other than Japanese. Sugar. I'm usually using mirin, but all my mirin happens to be over at Oasis at the time being, and I don't feel like walking across town to go get it. And anyway, mirin is just sweet sake. So you just add a little bit of, sugar, and you add a little bit of sake. Ah, puerco! That's red wine. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's fusion. Anyway, I only added a few drops. As you see, I have a professional whisk here today, which I robbed from Oasis, which I own anyway. I don't even know where the housewife one went. I think the housekeeper stole it or something. I like to put grapefruit peel in ponzu, but I don't have any fucking grapefruits lying around the place, so here you go. Yuzu, highest quality, soy sauce, sake, highest quality, and sugar. Or if you happen to have mirin, then mirin. Perfect. Okay. And my perfect shiso leaves. Jealous? Better be. Okay. I'm really big on the frozen shrimp lately because it's like the only fucking thing you can get around this whole town lately. So, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm gonna dry them off. And because I'm a cheap Jew, I'm thinking about cutting these shiso leaves in half and getting 2 out of each one. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, because it's best not to be cheap Jews. But I think I'm gonna do it anyway. If they're the first growth ones, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay? Now, I have here some white miso that has bonito flakes already mixed in, which, by the way, is the best for making miso soup. So what I'm gonna do is take a tiny, tiny bit of this miso and smear it on the shrimp here. This is Japanese umeboshi plum. Tough shit, you probably won't be able to find it. Maybe at a health food store or whatever. It's not fucking imperative for the recipe, but it just makes it taste better. So I'm gonna put one little chunk over here. I want to wrap up the leaf almost fully in the shiso. So try to like look where the part where you're going to be able to wrap it up completely. And if you weren't a cheap Jew, it wouldn't be a problem because you'd have like this big, huge old big leaf. And now I'm just going to put one skewer to hold everything together. You can use a toothpick or whatever also. This just is better because it looks like a little fancier. Ah! Puerco!
Fancy my ass.
This isn't working out as I thought. Even though I've done this like 100 times, I probably shouldn't have cut the leaves in half, to be honest. But I think it's still gonna be really tasty and beautiful, so shut your mouth. Now we'll just take a little sip of sake to make sure that the quality of marlin is standing up to their reputation. So far, so good. Maybe I'll save some of the whole ones and not cut them up futurely. That's not a word, but I used to joke with my old cook who was tricked into thinking that was an actual word in English for quite some time. She got really mad when she found out that futurely was not a word. Hi, Meshi. I love you. Little wolfberry.
She's there.
I love you. Okay, some more of this white miso. Shiro, by the way, is white, means white in Japanese. So if you see like this fucking shit at the grocery store or wherever that says shiro miso and it's like blacker than midnight, it's not shiro miso. Don't even get me started. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up in a different way and see if I'm a bit more successful. It's not looking like it, to be honest. Okay, looking good. But I think I should have used toothpicks, but I don't have any here. I think I'm not gonna cut them in half for the regular ones because it's not good to be a Jew. Dry off the shrimp, like super dry. Wash your hands as much as possible because God knows, you could get like cat germs or coronavirus or Ebola or whatever is going around these days. Get a little bit of the miso. Shove it on the shrimp. Be careful not to dry off the shrimp so vigorously that you leave pieces of paper towels on there. A little piece of umeboshi plum. Oh, this is so much better. Don't cut them up and be cheap. Look. Ah. Ah.
Fry them.
Yes, we're gonna fry them. We don't have much time to live. We might as well fry everything we can. Now I feel really bad for these ones. I think I'm going to rewrap them. For the meantime, we'll leave them over here. Obviously, if you can use pieces of fish, pieces of really thin meat or chicken, or better yet, fresh shrimp and not this shit that was probably grown in a Ebola pond in God knows where. Ooh, but this one's tempting me. It's so big. Should I cut it in half? I'm tempted. My soul is tempted. Jesus, Lord God, help me. What can I do? I'll cut it in half. And I don't believe in Jesus anyway. Look, I think I figured it out. Look here, cameraman. Go down here and see how I figured out how you can get the right rolling with, even if you're a cheap Jew and you cut them in half. See? Here. Okay. Miso. Umeboshi. And by the way, I think, maybe I mentioned it before, I think you can get paste of umeboshi in really good health food stores. You won't be able to get this quality because I got this in some infested land somewhere.
I brought it from Japan.
Oh, yeah. So he brought me from Japan, probably trying to kill me on the spot. Look, I figured it out how to do it with the half leaves. So, but I think toothpicks would be better, but I don't have. Ooh, perfect. Okay. Eliav isn't talking to me these days. But this used to be me and him's favorite band. You can kind of break the backbone here so you can wrap it up like really clean like I did the last one, and I don't know why I didn't do it before. But miso. Ah. Little bit of umeboshi. Not a lot. This shit is fucking strong. It's like super salty. It's really good for you though. If you have a stomach ache or something like that, if you eat a little bit of this, you're fixed up. I think I made a mistake. Okay. It's fixable. I'm so happy.
Go to the frying.
Two more leaves left. To be cheap Jews or not to be cheap Jews? That's the question. Four pieces or two pieces?
Two, because you're boring.
Ugh. This is the worst cameraman I ever had in my whole life. Ever. Let's check the marlin because it's been open for a couple of minutes and you never know, it's pretty volatile. So let's check it out and see if it's still good. Ah, puerco. I'm shaking my head because when me and Eliav used to be best friends, he made a new words to this song. Doof Shani in a dungeon cried. Holding up good so far. On the wedding cake. Cola wine. It's no wonder while we were dancing in that bar last night. We were dancing in no bar rooms last night because the whole fucking town is shut down. It is no wonder. I'm sorry for laughing, but I just can't stop thinking about Aklilu's song. I mean, Eliav's song. For a wedding cake, plenty bottles of cola wine. It is no wonder while they were dancing in that bar last night. Yeah, sweet and dandy, sweet and dandy, sweet and dandy. I thought I saw a hair of mine fall out of my head, but it was just here, so don't fear. Okay, now we're gonna fry these up.
Good.
Now look, in the interest of the horrible times we're living in, I would teach you how to make,
Hood. Turn off the hood.
not now, in the interest of teaching you some more stuff, I would teach you how to make super good tempura batter. But hard times call for hard measures. So I suggest that you just go buy this Japanese tempura powder that has it's rice flour, regular flour, tapioca flour, and baking soda. It's perfect. I could teach you how to make it, but I don't really feel like it in any way. This stuff is perfect, so. Now again, like we did with the last fried things, and you might get the idea that I like frying stuff all the time, but I don't. I actually don't do it very much at all. So I don't really know why I got this in my head. Always when you're frying excuse me, it was the marlin. Oh my God, it gave me the kick-ups. You always have to put the stuff that you're gonna fry in flour or whatever mixture you're using, rice flour, a bowl of flour, whatever, first, and then into the mixture. Sorry for the cutout, but I need to find a rubber band. Look at my catch of food. It's like enough for like 2 months. I don't use beer or any shit for this. It doesn't need it. It already has a little bit of yeast and the baking powder in it, so. And anyway, anyone who says to put an egg in tempura batter is an idiot, so don't listen to them. Either just flour or rice flour and tapioca flour and water, or the already mixed up stuff. Eggs have no place in tempura. I like to have it as thin as possible so I see the leaves. Okay?
Hood. Put the hood on. Rim, the hood.
Never!
Okay, you're sleeping in our room.
I'll wait till it gets a little bit
No,
hotter.
it's already smell.
You can smell it? Okay, I'm gonna turn all the mids on. Now, as you all know, I fucking hate onions. I don't know where these repulsive things started growing, but in this case, we have to use them. I'm gonna use about like 10% of what you should use, which is gonna be 1. But it really makes a difference. If you don't put the onion into the ponzu, then your ponzu is going to be all fucked up. Look at this disgusting creature. Gross, 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 gross. Clean it down to the max. Wash it. Okay, I think my oil is hot enough. Chiffonade it very thin. Yeah? Super thin. The thinner the better. You're not gonna chop it or whatever because chopping it, oh, this knife sucks. Fuck my life. Shit, it's dull. It's terrible. I'll deal with it tomorrow. Maybe this one's better. It is better. Don't put a lot, okay? That's enough. Shove it in the ponzu. Keep your knives sharp, otherwise you'll end up looking like a fool, like me, if your knives are dull and you look like some coffee house cowboy down at the Starbucks or whatever. I want to drink out of real sake cups. Not these fucking things from Rome that I brought back all full of coronavirus. So look here, oil's too hot. And I don't want to wait for it because that's the kind of mistake that you can make, to wait for oil to cool down if you get it too hot. So all you do is add a little bit more oil and you can see the cold oil like mixing with that. The hotter oil. This can go into the garbage can where it belongs. Now, we need a paper towel to drain these off. I think I did something wrong. Because I forgot that I took some of my own stuff back from Oasis yesterday, and I don't need to use this housewife tools. So first, look up. You shove, I would like to cook 2 at a time, or 3 maximum, okay? So you just dust them around. And then you put your batter over here. It's gonna make a big fuss. Look, I'm teaching things right, so, ow! So get something over next to that so you don't get batter all over the place and you want to kill yourself. And you see this? This shit. This is better to use professional tools, not garbage. So I'm going to put it in here. Ah. And then look, you just squish it with your hands. That's all the batter you need. I think 2 is better, not 3. I don't know what the guys who clean up my house have done with all my stuff. Let's see that they still save my 25 years old shit from San Francisco. It's very important to have the oil be exact temperature. You hear that little bubbling, like if it's like glug, 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 you're gonna get something all soggy and oily. And if it's like all your stuff is going to be burnt and you won't be able to eat it. This is perfect. Look at my beautiful batter. It still keeps the color of the shiso leaf, and more than that, it'll keep the taste of the shiso leaf. That's the most important thing. I need to take a drink of this marlin. This is the right cups to drink marlin out of. You can listen to these idiots who say put it in a wine glass and all that, but I think it's bullshit. The Japanese won't put marlin in a wine glass. You see how green and beautiful the shiso leaves still are? And they're crunchy. They're super crunchy. The best way is to eat them immediately and not wait for like a whole batch to be done, because then you won't experience the flavor. This is wild geranium that I got hold of. Just a minute. I got hold of walking around town when I shouldn't have been walking around town, but I have Ebola anyway, so I really couldn't care less. So it has a kind of spicy flavor. And this is my favorite chichimi from Japan. It's filled with the novel coronavirus. The best quality one you can get. Don't use that crap they give you at shitty sushi bars or any of that junk. Now I'm giving it to my cameraman to try out.
No, we can't. You will try one.
Because I need to keep cooking some more.
No, eat one. Eat one. Then you shut down. Drink it, eat, enjoy.
But I have like 6 more pieces to go.
That will be the next.
Now look here. This is like one of the cleanest and most elegant things you can ever make. And if you have some marlin or even some jinmai jinjo, which I couldn't find today, and I don't care because I got the marlin. It's so fucking good. Yo. It's not that I'm such a good cook. I mean, I am a good cook, but the ingredients speak for themselves, except maybe these frozen shrimp. But my first growth shiso and the ponzu, you'll think you died and went to heaven. I guess I could have taken the tails off of the shrimp, but I usually don't because I'm usually using fresh shrimp and the tails are super beautiful, and the heads. Oh my God.
Have a drink.
I'm making a bit of a mess here, but I don't really care. Arigato gozaimasu.
Keep relaxed.
Unless you want to burn your cat up, you have to beat them on a regular basis if they go anywhere near what you're doing.
Say bye.
I think that me and alone will eat the rest ourselves, and you've got the idea. You can send me a private message if you need anything, you didn't understand something, or you want to find out where to get some ingredients. You can get me on Chef Rima Olvera on Instagram, or just find me at my usual place of residence at Facebook or whatever. And for that, I say good night.